It's time for On Point, where we speak to experts to delve deeper into some of the key issues in the spotlight right now. Top trade ministers of the 14 IPEF member countries are meeting virtually right now to discuss a variety of topics. This includes South Korean Trade Minister Duk-geun, who has just stressed the importance of IPEF being flexible and effective.
Observers say that the devil is in the details because the deal so far doesn't offer tangible benefits for the member nations, and also there are complaints from Beijing are getting louder and louder amid its rivalry with Washington. So what's in it for South Korea? Let's find out more by connecting with Professor Jae-min of Seoul National University School of Law. Very good morning to you, Professor. Thank you for joining us. And well, my first question to you, South Korea's trade dependency on China has been getting smaller, and the share of trade volume with the US has been growing in recent months. Do you think that IPEF can really accelerate this trend as South Korea really looks to diversify its trading partners?
Thank you. Well, I think it's possible. It indicates a new trend between China and Korea trade relationship, and China and Korea and US trade relationship. But I would say the current situation that we are seeing now is rather perhaps temporary because of the COVID-19 lockdown situation of China. So I would wait. I would wait for more development to confirm the change of situation. But in any event, the current situation is important for Korea, and we are feeling the changing wind in the global trade landscape in many respects.
Right, so we are feeling the change in winds, and also it marks the 10th anniversary this year for the South Korea-US FTA, and it seems like both countries kind of have a sentiment that it has been outdated with the fast-changing environment in the trade society. So would being in IPEF really help maybe even renegotiate this bilateral trade agreement, or even make the two countries' trade relationship better?
Well, that is a very important question that we are facing at the moment. As you know, according to the available information, IPEF is still very skeletal. The contents are not clear enough, and we do not exactly know what will be included in the framework generally. So it is still too early to tell whether that will be how much progress we will see, or how much new areas will be covered. All those questions are still up in the air. That said, IPEF is very innovative because it tries to touch upon new trade topics such as labor, environment, tax, competition, corruption. So they are trying to touch upon new topics. In that respect, this is a new endeavor, an innovative effort to bring trade agreement to the next level. So we have to see how these endeavors will lead to actual outcome. And we'll have to see for the next 2 to 3 years to confirm and to determine the exact contour and exact outcome of the IPEF emergence.
Professor, well, South Korea, for months and months, it's been trying to negotiate with the US, trying to get the tariffs on its steel rods and other such materials waived, as Washington has done so for European countries and also for Japan. Do you think there's any chance of this happening, as South Korea has now actively joined IPEF and they are looking to strengthen their trade relations?
Well, IPEF mainly is about redesigning the framework of trade minus tariff concessions or market opening. So in that respect, IPEF is different from the conventional FTAs because we are not discussing reduction of tariffs or the elimination of import barriers. So mainly IPEF is trying to achieve, including and formulating new trade norms. So in that respect, Korea's trade relationship, existing trade relationship with other countries, including the EU or other countries, for that matter, even China, Korea's trade relationship with these other major trading partners at the moment will not be changed immediately as a result of IPEF. Over time, it may, but at least in the near future, the relationship of Korea in terms of trade with other major trading partners will not be significantly affected. And largely, the new obligation for Korea is how to change our domestic laws and statutes and regulation about labor, about environment, and about corruption and taxes. So the immediate effect is on the Korea's regulatory system inside Korea, as opposed to market opening of Korea toward other trading partners. So that is how the IPEF is different from FTA, and that is why many countries, including Korea, are now scratching their head to see what exactly IPEF is all about.
Right, Professor. So a sort of sensitive topic, and I've seen what you have written in your previous columns, and our previous government was kind of walking the line between China and the U.S., making balance because both are very big trade partners, and China being the bigger one at that time. And right now, the current government seems to have they haven't said it in words, but it does seem like they have favored the relations with U.S. so far and have joined the IPEF, which could ultimately be a message to China. Would this hurt the South Korean economy, or is this a favorable decision for the country?
Well, Korea has always been in a difficult situation ever since the eruption of U.S.-China confrontation, and IPEF is the most recent development in this respect. And Korea is in a very difficult situation. On the one hand, China is Korea's largest trading partner, and in many respects, Korea and China are closely intertwined in key industries, etc. And United States is the key alliance partner for South Korea, and United States is the second largest trading partner for Korea. So in that respect, when there is a tension between the two countries, Korea is always inevitably in a difficult situation. That said, well, IPEF is still Korea's participation in the IPEF will inevitably raise concern on the part of China. Given what has been said by U.S. officials about IPEF, China will be concerned about Korea's participation and active participation, for that matter, in IPEF will raise concern on the part of China. Well, that said, again, given the extent of the two countries' integration in key industrial sectors, and two countries' cooperation in many aspects of international trade, bilateral trade and multilateral trade in this region, I think the bilateral implication from IPEF between South Korea and China will not be that drastic. I will not worry that much about China's reaction toward Korea as a result of Korea's participation in the IPEF in the near future.
I see. Well, thank you very much for your time this morning, Professor. We hope to hear your insights again soon.
Thank you. Great to be on the show. Thank you.
Thank you.